The Toyota Camry has been the best-selling car in America for 9 straight years. But unlike in the past, there's a lot more competition in the midsize sedan segment, particularly from Korean automakers like Hyundai and Kia, who are building midsize sedans with best-in-class, well, pretty much everything. So now Toyota has introduced an all-new Camry, looking to stay on top for a 10th straight year. Will it? Let's take a look. For starters, the Camry has a sort of all-new design. There are some important changes, though, and it is sort of more in keeping with the times, if not as dramatic as some of the competition. Some of the important changes on the front grille include a nice sort of badge that runs across and really sort of joins up with the headlights, and it makes the car a little bit wider, gives it a little bit more road presence. There's some different unique cues as well, although it does look a bit bland from a side profile. What you're looking at here is the SE model with a noticeable absence of chrome on the front. Instead, you've got this nice black mesh grille. It sort of comes to a point in the front of the bumper too, which is a unique design. And there's a lot of other small traits too. We've got side skirts, a little rear spoiler, plus some actually really nicely designed 18-inch wheels. Now, adding some performance to this model are stiffer springs and shocks, stiffer roll bar, and it even has sort of a stiffer power steering system inside that really gives you a more connected feel to the road. And it even has paddle shifters that rev match on the downshift. An important performance advantage, which also helps out with fuel economy, is the fact that Toyota has cut 150 pounds out of this car. And that's to start. Some models get a lot more than that, with the hybrid model actually weighing 220 pounds less than it used to. The SE model that we're in right now is actually the nicest driving of the bunch. It's sort of billed as the sporty model, and while that is true and does outhandle the rest of the vehicles in the lineup, it's also a sort of near luxury sedan, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Along with a nicer interior, there's also this very relaxed V6 engine that's nice. The wider tires just sort of make it sit nicer on the road, and the stiffer steering make it just a more solid feel when you're out cruising on the highway. When it comes to the new Camry's interior, there are some hits and some misses. For starters, there's actually more room in here than before, even though the actual dimensions of the car haven't changed, which is nice. We're actually in the hybrid model right now and have very few complaints about this, but some of the lower grade models, the seats look a little chintzy, and the materials, even just the colors that they use look a little strange, whereas you get to the top of the line and it really looks good on an SE model with black leather with the microfiber inserts. In general, though, this car, the hybrid, looks great. Some new features included for 2012 include a push-button ignition and keyless access for the V6 models, as well as all the hybrids. And there are these great new controls on the steering wheel. They're really handy for accessing the display audio system, which is available on certain models. And there's also an Entune system beyond that, which is a new sort of app system that we first saw on the Prius V. While the display audio has several different apps for anything from showing you the weather, sports updates, and the best one possibly is telling you what the cheapest gas is nearby you, the Entune system sort of takes it a step further. The Entune system itself will allow you to download an app to your iPhone or Android, whatever it is that you're using, and then you can basically access certain things through that. And what it lets you do is you can book restaurants, you can go to movietickets.com and book movies there, and there's a lot of other great small features built in. They even have the Bing search engine, and you can listen to live streaming radio stations online. And of course, because this is a family sedan and a Toyota, we have to talk about safety. There's a lot of great safety features in this car. There's the things you'd expect, traction control, stability control, stuff like that. Toyota's now also added 10 standard airbags, which is great. It has the brake override system now. They've made the seats taller in the back to help reduce whiplash injuries, and a lot of other small things. You can get optional backup cameras and great safety features like that, as well as now an optional blind spot monitoring system for the car. Until now, we haven't really talked about the powertrains for the new Camry, and that's because, at first at least, it seems like there's not a lot new going on under the hood. The standard engine is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder, and it gets a little bit more power, 178 horsepower and 170 foot-pounds of torque. What is impressive, however, is that they've managed to grab 3 more miles per gallon, both in the city and the highway. So it now gets 25 city, 35 highway. And because the new Camry actually gets 3 miles per gallon better than the new Sonata, the Camry has established itself as the fuel economy leader once again. Also available for 2012 is a V6 engine, which is interesting because Toyota has decided to hang on to the V6s when most automakers have decided to just offer 4 cylinders in the midsize sedan class. Power is rated at 168 horsepower, 148 foot-pounds of torque, and it gets 20 miles per gallon in the city and 29 miles per gallon on the highway. In all those respects, it falls a little bit short of the Hyundai Sonata Turbo. Then there's the brand new Camry Hybrid. Over the past couple years, the previous generation model has been surpassed by the Ford Fusion Hybrid, by the Hyundai Sonata Hybrid. This, however, puts Toyota back on top. It makes 43 miles per gallon in the city, 39 on the highway, and gets a combined 41 miles per gallon. What's so impressive, it's a huge leap forward from the previous car, including 12 mile per gallon improvement in the city. On top of all that, it makes 200 horsepower and is actually pretty quick. Similar to the new Civic, there's nothing that's terribly groundbreaking about the new 2012 Camry. That is apart from the hybrid model, we should say. On top of that, though, the Camry is solidly improved over the previous generation car, which was a bestseller. If the Camry is to hold on to its sales title for a 10th year, it may have less to do with the merits of the car itself and more to do with pricing and the new hybrid model. Now, let me explain. In terms of pricing, the sort of near entry-level LE model is going to go up just a little bit. Toyota said that, but they haven't released exact numbers. As for the SE and XLE models, which are the higher up levels, they're going to decrease significantly, we've been told, which is impressive. So they're basically going to try and reduce the division between the different models and hopefully sell a lot more higher-end ones to people. On top of that, there's the hybrid model, which really makes the most significant advancements. And Toyota is very bullish on this. They've said that they're expecting to double sales of that car from about 28,000 to 50,000. So they're really looking forward to that being sort of the future of the Camry in a certain sense. So beyond the SE model that we really enjoy driving today, we'd say that the hybrid model is definitely the one to get.